everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video I am going to be showing you guys how to repot some Maxillaria Tenuifolias. This in front of you is already the finished product. I will go step by step right after I give you a small introduction of what this orchid is, just in case you're not familiar with it. So this in front of me is a Maxillaria Tenuifolia. It is actually one of the most popular Maxillarias. It is also known as a coconut orchid. Now this coconut orchid grows a little red flower about an inch to an inch and a half, and it grows one flower per spike. The way that it grows is also different. These are climbers. So if you notice, all the little pseudobulbs kind of climb one on top of the other. Just like you see in this picture, this is when she was in bloom. Now normally these orchids bloom in spring and in summer, and it is known as a coconut orchid because it's that. It smells just like a coconut pie. To me, it smells like a pina colada. Now, these type of orchids like to be kept moist. This is why I am going to be repotting her in some spagna moss, just so she can retain that moisture even better. Here in South Florida, I usually water her about 2 to 3 times a week. It is very hot. She usually likes a humidity of over 50%, so that's very helpful in my case. If you don't have so much humidity, you can always use a humidifier, and if you have to keep her indoors, just keep her close to a window, preferably one that is not facing north. So let's get started with this tutorial. This is just basic care for these orchids. Today I will be also showing you how I fertilize it, which is going to be with a slow release fertilizer that I'll be keeping inside the little container which I just purchased. So I'm going to see how that goes, and that's it. Let's get started. All right, so we're getting started. I have 3 different Maxillaria Tenuifolias. I got these with Carmela Orchids back in April. They came in a 3-inch pot, and they're sort of outgrowing the pots already. Since they are growing upwards, they sort of tip over all the time. So I want to repot them today inside this clay pot, and I just want to keep them all together. I want to make a nice, kind of a nice arrangement out of them and have them all grow in the same place. This way I can just, fertilize them all together, and they can just grow and just grow nice and bushy. So I'm going to go to the sink, and I'm going to remove some of the sphagnum moss to give them a fresh start. All right, so now that we're by the sink, I am also going to show you guys the root system of the Maxillaria Tenuifolia. So the roots are very thin, but as you notice, since these are climbers, like I said before, the roots kind of grow right under each pseudobulb. So you're going to have roots just dangling down from one pseudobulb to the next and all the way down to the media. So that is normal. You don't need to remove anything, just let them be. The roots are very thin also, so when you're repotting, just make sure that you don't tear any of that root system. And they normally look whitish, greenish with little root tips. All right, so in this case, I left some of the sphagnum moss still attached. I didn't want to mess too much with the root system, and since that sphagnum moss was still not, it was still good, it wasn't decaying or anything, or it wasn't old. I just got these last spring, so it wasn't too much time in between. So I'm laying her down in a bed of sphagnum moss, and I'm putting her in my new clay pots that I got at RF, which have all these little holes in them, so I get so much ventilation, so much airflow going into the pot. And I'm just gonna, pack in more sphagnum moss, not so much in the middle, but more on the outer areas, just so I can get a good firm hold on this orchid. They do tend to tip over and just grow like that sideways because they do get heavy, because since they're growing up, it tends to fall over. So I'm just going to make her very tight on the edges, not too much in the middle. I sometimes feel like it's choking her, too much sphagnum moss. So I just like keep it around and make it firm like that, just all around the pot. All right, so I'm done pretty much. It's just to make it nice and secure. I am going to just give her a few more, go around and just pack it in at the edges. And this is pretty much it. So I just wanted to also remind you guys, the watering routines should all depend, like I mentioned before, on your climate. I will water very frequent during the summer. Now when I start getting into the winter, I will water less frequent. but I will never allow the plant to get dry. Okay, so we are done. So I put here some wood stakes just to hold the plant up, and I added some little clips to secure it. And I also added these slow release containers, which I also got this weekend. And that's a slow release inside of there. So every time I water, I will also be feeding my Maxillaria tenuifolia. This beautiful coconut orchid, it is a beautiful plant, even when it's not in bloom. I can even use it as a centerpiece. It's so pretty. So I hope you enjoyed this video, guys, of how to repot a Maxillaria tenuifolia. It was nice, making this for you guys. And if you like other repotting videos of other orchids, just leave me some comments below, and I'll be more than happy to make those for you. And that's it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for spending your time with me. And I will see you all in my next video. Bye-bye.